So Gareth,
Yeah.
obviously working with horses has its many, many challenges and many highs and lows. How have you dealt with the inevitable disappointments that horse riders face?
It's like Instagram reality. When we get going in our sport, is that everybody sort of sees what they want to see, on social media or in competitions and stuff, and it's very easy to sort of see all the highs,
Yes.
and everybody forgets about all the lows and all the hard work. Those dark days in the middle of winter, and disappointments of things like that, of horses injuring themselves. There was a saying that the people that are most successful are the best at dealing with failure, because because you fail every time you step forward. You fail first. You don't succeed. Whether it's like the first time you sit on a horse, your first rise trot, you're going to fail. But if you quit because you couldn't find it easy, you don't going to keep going. And it's the same at top sport. We have more we fail more than we win. And fail doesn't mean that you can't do it. It's just mistakes happen, things happen. Horses injure themselves. For me, there's been a couple of very, very big competitions. I remember I think it was 2000 and trying to think of the year. I think it was 2017 Europeans, and at a international, we have to jog the horses up for the ground jury to show that they're healthy and sound and everything before we compete. And we'd been up in Sweden, and I'd done my arena familiarization with my horse and everything, and that was all fine. Everything was good, and then we all got dressed up for the vet check. And on the way round, he spooked and slipped slightly. He was fine. He just looked. It was absolutely fine. Nothing wrong. I trotted off for the vet check, trotted away, turned around, trotted back, and I'd failed. And I was like, Anyway, what he'd done, he just slightly pulled a muscle just on his way around. That was my Europeans over. And I had another one. It was the year of Tokyo, actually, with Bray Linker. And we were about 2 weeks out from our very, very first big competition to aim for the team for Tokyo. And I'd gone into the house to grab something, and the vet was here, and I came out and they were trotting her up, and as she trotted back, she was very, very slightly unlevel. And I stopped and I looked at her and I was like, and the vet said, right, we're going to have to scan her. Anyway, what she'd done, she strained her suspensory. And he scanned it, and he looked at me and he said, she strained it. And I said, that's Tokyo, isn't it? And he was, yeah. And that was my Olympics. And when you work your whole life for things like this, when we talk about championships and stuff like that, you don't know whether you've got one in you or you don't know whether you've got 10, and that could be it. That could be it. And when you put everything into it, and something like that happens, it does really, really knock you. And I think that's where you have to, the main thing to do, and what allows me to keep coming back, are two things. Is I ride horses because I love horses. And the second thing is you have to enjoy the journey, because if you don't enjoy the journey, you may never end up where you want to be. And a lot of people get put off by it because they have this ambition, but they don't enjoy the journey through, and they just get disappointed because they don't make it there. Where, our job is we enjoy the journey, we enjoy training the horses, whether it be going through to an area festival, a regional championship, a nationals, an internationals, the Olympics. That's the cherry on top. That's a bonus.
Yeah.
But those disappointments doesn't mean I failed. It doesn't mean my horses failed. It's just the reality of sport. This is normal. People that sort of look at things on Instagram and social media and stuff and think that these horses just come and we just do the next one. We don't. We work really, really hard. I work 7 days a week. I ride and I teach and I take very little time off. I've been doing this for the last 20 years. I see people on social media getting disappointed they're not making it, but you see every weekend they're having 3 days off and a long weekend, and they only ride this bit. And it's not really. We work really, really, really hard, and we usually work harder than the people that are complaining it's not happening. Yeah. Because it takes a lot of work, and it takes it's being able to ride the disappointment to come through. So anything that's going to give you a huge high gives you major lows.
Yeah.
And it's being able just to deal with that disappointment and reality of it. And that's why it's so important that actually we just do it because we love these guys.
Well, that was beautifully put, and I'm sure that will help loads of people that are going through that very same disappointment. Well, not quite the Olympic level disappointment, but same disappointment also. Thank you.
No problem.